Republicans only have control of the House for a few more weeks, yet it seems like they're squandering crucial time. The Wall Street Journal editorial board writing today, the Republican Congress is going out with a whimper, which is a particular shame because this is the last chance for pro-growth government reform for many years, as long as Democrats hold the House. Republicans will be left trying to stop the further expansion of the entitlement state. Back with us to discuss, Robert Wolf. Also joining us, Wall Street Journal editorial page writer Jillian Melchior, Fox News contributor Deneen Borelli. Jillian, you're part of that editorial board. So what exactly is the issue here?
Well, the Farm Bill is a hot mess. That's the short version of it. Basically, the GOP had this golden opportunity to take on work and welfare reform. Basically, that there are 7 to 9 million people who are receiving welfare benefits but earning no pay whatsoever. They could be working, they could be volunteering, they could be working on higher ed, opening up opportunities in the future. But instead of doing that, that's basically going to be out of the Farm Bill now. And instead, you have a lot of subsidies.
Why did they blink like that? I didn't understand when I saw that. I saw it was in, and a couple days later, I saw it was out, and I'm scratching my head. Why?
You know, I think that's a great question for them, especially when you look at all of the pork that's in this. You've got subsidies for huge farms. This is not your small farmer out in Iowa just struggling to get by. And I think part of what's going on is the Trump administration knows this is a bad deal, but tariffs are really hurting farmers, and so I don't think that Trump's going to veto it.
Deneen, I will say, with 7.1 million jobs we learned today open in the most recent report, the JOLTS report, there's work out there. What's wrong with people having to work for welfare?
Yeah, listen, I think it's a bad move on the Republicans' part, especially since they are currently in control. I mean, what better way to incentivize people and give them encouragement and hope to let them know that you can make much more money with a job than you can relying on government assistance. And so I think this is really doing a disservice to Americans, and people need to understand that, yes, our job market is on fire. Businesses are bending over and changing their hiring practices because it's so competitive right now. So the market is ripe, and people should take advantage of it.
Robert?
Well, as the Dem listening to you, I should just shut up because you guys are hammering the Republican side here. I would have to agree. They had a big softball. They could have made incredible changes, at least put in some skills training to get people to make sure we have 7 million jobs open. That's because we don't have the skills. Remember, the participation rate's still at 63%. I agree with what the Wall Street Journal said. It seemed to me that they just wanted to give the president kind of a free pass in the states he did really well in the midterms, and with the tariffs
But what does that have to do with the work part, though? I don't understand why that would exclude the work part, though.
Because I think it would have actually got caught up in a bill that may have not been passed as easily in the lame duck. You had Democrats that wanted to keep certain things in. You had Republicans that were nervous on the trade and tariff. And at the end of the day, to be blunt, you know, Speaker Ryan, he's lost his complete fiscal discipline. It's amazing to me. He's just lost his fiscal discipline.
I'm just so sad to see Republicans blink on this because it is a missed opportunity. And I think if you ask most Americans, even those who favor broad welfare provisions, it is not an unreasonable thing to require able-bodied, working-age people to work.
And I think it's 20 hours, it said today.
Yeah, it's 20 hours. Take a part-time job. Come on.
I mean, it's a 20-hour...
Other states that have done the work requirements or schooling saw people come off the rolls like that, like in individual states. I mean, people flock off the rolls. Real quick also, Deneen, I think they're making a mistake on this prison reform bill, too. McConnell, you know, just I don't get it because Bernice King, Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter signed on to it last week. You know, she endorsed it. I think it's a great way for them to sort of counter some of the demographic issues that they're going to be facing in elections in the future. And also, I think it's probably a smart and right thing to do.
Well, clearly the devil are in the details of that, what you just mentioned, the reform bill. But you got to look at the fact that how they did not push forward on this initiative, and the fact that the clock is running out. So we only have a number of days left for Congress to get anything done right now. So what will be their accomplishments in the next couple of days?
If you put an up and down vote on the floor, that would pass with flying colors.
With flying colors.
Flying
like
colors.
70
there are very few bipartisan things. Criminal reform happens to be one of them.
It's nuts that they would let this go by. But then again, are they trying to also curry favor then for can President Trump go to Nancy Pelosi and say, listen, you know what? We didn't force some things because we're trying to, is this, could it be an olive branch?
If that's the strategy, it's really naive. I don't think Nancy Pelosi is interested in making a deal with President Trump. I think she's just going to want to hammer him. He's a political gift, and she's a political gift to him.
Agree?
Yeah, I agree.
I was hoping Robert would agree on that.
I know when to zip it.
All right, folks. Thank you all very much.